Good morning. First, let me just ask, anybody not have a white folder? Anybody short of a white folder? Anybody have extra white folders at their table? Great. Could we do a little bit of switching? If you'll just raise your hands if you need one, and if you have extras at your table, that would be great.
You need more, or you have?
Anybody still need one? Okay, I think we're good. So, I'm going to start by talking a little bit about the strategic board. The CEO board. And this was a board that I was a member of back in 2005 and 2006. Bob was the facilitator, and I got a tremendous amount out of being a TAB member. I started a business, and that's when I left, strangely enough, on my own. And Bob and I stayed in touch, and in fact, he recruited me to become a facilitator. Sorry? Okay. He recruited me to become a TAB facilitator. Unfortunately, the year before, he was afflicted with his illness. Nevertheless, as a result, instead of starting some new boards with Bob, I had the pleasure of rejoining a board I knew and taking on a new one as well. It was Dune Wintz, who's been on the CEO board, who persuaded me to take on a second board, namely the CEO board. And Dune, I really can't say thank you enough, because I think I get as much from the board as I hope the board members get from the board. So very quickly, I'd like to recognize those members who are CEO board members and who are here today. And I'll just ask you to quickly stand as I call your name. Let's refrain from applause, at least for the moment. Paul McGrath, Gary Pieringer, Scott Wallode, and Dune Wintz. And the three who are not here, I believe, are Bruce Groves, Stan Omland, and Deirdre Wheatley-Liss. But I want to say thank you. And now for the Bob Zelnick Award. This year's winner is Paul McGrath. Paul, you want to come up? Over the years, I'd just like to say that Paul has been a vital member of the CEO board. He's been offering keen insight, measured perspective, and new ideas to his colleagues on the board. And this year it was Paul who suggested that the board begin to bring in outside speakers, specifically focused on the topics of sales and marketing, topics that I think everybody on the board both recognizes the need for and has benefited from. So for that reason and all the contributions he's made, Paul is this year's winner. Congratulations, Paul. And if you wouldn't mind, a few words.
Okay, my name's Paul. I'm a friend of Bob Z. I don't know how long it's been, 8, 9 years ago. I met Bob a number of times, although I kept running away from him at chamber meetings, till I realized he wasn't selling financial products. He was trying to get me to come join TAB. Bob was a very persistent person. That I enjoyed about him. I enjoyed a great deal our monthly conversations. He was unique, especially in the business world. It's not a world that he would naturally fit into. I miss him dearly. I miss our conversations. I value what I learned from him and learned working with him. I especially enjoyed, again, his persistence, his perseverance. You always knew when Bob went to a TAB facilitator conference because he would come back at the next meeting and change all the rules and regulations, trying to get us to do better. And it was sort of like swimming upstream for him against us because we resisted tremendously. I thank my board for recognition. I enjoy the board. I enjoy the camaraderie, the commiseration. They make me feel like I'm normal. But again, I thank you. I thank Ken. Ken's been a great replacement for Bob, and he's again, like a salmon trying to swim upstream against the 7 or 8 of us. Thank you again.
Okay, and now on to the strategic board. The strategic board was the first board that I facilitated for Bob and Tab. Tony Marmo is a member of the board and happened to be a client of mine, courtesy of Bob, who referred him to me, who personally persuaded me to facilitate the board. The strategic board members are characterized by the fact that, yeah, they're smart and they're savvy. They're also incredibly feisty. But they have shown a tremendous amount of support to help each other and to help each other's businesses progress. And so again, I'd like to very quickly recognize those who are in the room. Glenn Tippy, Lee Wasserman, Bob Harkleroad, and Tim Barrett. And I don't think that Tony is here, but he and Uri Zilberman round out the board. Thank you, guys. And from the strategic board, let me slow down a little bit. The winner of this year's Bob Zelnick Award is Glenn Tippy. Glenn? I'll just say this about Glenn. He is a sage, funny, pull-no-punches contributor to the board who helps his fellow members not only in the board meetings, but outside the confines of the board meetings, and not just with their insurance. He's somebody who really demonstrates the bonds that being a member of the board, a TAB board, can foster, and he brings the spirit of the board to life. Glenn, congratulations. Thank you. There you go. And if you would say a few words.
No, I'm not.
Just a few.
Yeah,
Just a few.
I'm not mechanically capable of a few words. First of all, to get an award named for Bob Zelnick is a greater honor than I or anyone I know can deserve, so thank you very much. We do TAB because you go there and eventually when you start telling the truth about how things are going, you get help. You get people who are committed to you, and after a while it is people who care whether you lose or win. It is people who will tell you the truth even when there are painful moments involved. Bob is a tremendous act to follow, but you have in Ken someone who has been wonderful, who has done his own special way of supporting us, and we all appreciate him very much. But it is the core of the people that you deal with. We had somebody who retired who had the best, you want to edit this, crap detector in the entirety of TAB, who just would start to vibrate when I was going on too long or when I was wrong, just start to vibrate in place until he said, "You do know you're full of crap, right?" And since my spouse doesn't say it that way, and my partner doesn't come forward in that fashion, it's extremely useful. And it's extremely useful when someone who has suffered something you're going through is himself or herself going to share what they did to survive it and come out the other side, and you help each other. It's been a tremendous experience. I really appreciate it. And Ken, you've done a wonderful job. Thank you.